Mr. Fallon.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I really do appreciate the opportunity to talk about this. It's so vitally important. There was a Prussian diplomat, Clemens Wenzel First, and we know him by his last name, von Metternich. And he said that when France sneezes, the world catches a cold. And now that term has been applied to the United States, of course. When we sneeze, the world catches a cold. So what we do here really does matter. And it's not just for the 340 million people in this country, but it's for billions across the world. I had a friend of mine in my 20s. He's an American. He was born in Iran. His father still lived in Iran, and he said he can't go back because they might press him into military service and might punish his father and just take all his possessions after working for 50 years of his life, because that's what theocracies, authoritarian theocracies, tend to do. And it really opened my eyes as somebody that has experienced the blessings and bounties of this country when we have a big moat called the Atlantic and a bigger one called the Pacific, and we're protected. And we don't realize that you don't have to go back to 1500 or 1000 AD to see this kind of religious oppression and persecution. It's happening right here in this world in 2023. So we not only live in the right place, we do live in the right time, but some people live in the wrong place, and still in 2023, for some folks, it's the wrong time. Nothing to me is more important than a human being being able to worship the Almighty to the dictates of their own conscience. I think that's why we're all here. That's why it's a little upsetting to hear this kind of partisan gutter politics that then morphed into something sane. So what I wanted to do is ask a couple of questions about it, because I really would hope this would be bipartisan. Our office is going to draft a letter that hopefully will get Republican and Democrats to sign on to it. So the International Religious Freedom Act, which allows the Secretary of State to designate countries that commit systematic and ongoing egregious violations of religious freedom. These countries of particular concern, CPCs. Mr. Curry, in Afghanistan, if you are born or you are raised Muslim and you leave that faith, can you face egregious consequences?
Absolutely. In many countries, including Afghanistan, you're not allowed to change your faith. In some countries, you're forced to register and never. You can't choose the faith of your own. But both culturally and politically, it's not allowed in Afghanistan.
What if somebody wanted to build I'd ask Mr. Patterson, or Dr. Patterson, sorry, if we wanted to build a Jewish temple in Kabul today under the Taliban? What do you think would happen?
Yeah, impossible.
Would not happen.
And you'd probably face the death penalty.
Okay. So that's pretty egregious, wouldn't you all agree? Dr. Mobbs, yeah. Ms. Taylor, you'd agree? Yeah. Mr. Curry, is Afghanistan designated as a CPC?
Yes.
It is? Okay. What other countries would you feel should be designated in or not?
Well, I think one country that I would highlight for you that has been designated as a CPC but has been given waivers would be India. This is a country that we want to have strong partnership. We have lots of business relationships with. But surprisingly, this democracy is one of the foremost persecutors of religious minorities. Christians and Muslims in India face great repression from the political movement there. And so if I could highlight anything as it relates to CPC, it's India, countries like it, which are designated, but there's no teeth to it because the State Department continues to waive the consequences.
Dr. Mobbs, Russia, of course, is in the news every day because of their illegal and grotesque invasion of Ukraine. So the Russian Orthodox Church, Putin, who was a secularist for his entire life and then suddenly embraces Christianity, why do you think they're persecuting particularly Jehovah's Witnesses so severely?
I think they're just willing to persecute anyone that doesn't do exactly what he says.
Just if you get out of line. So you can be, if you're Russian Orthodox, is it more toward just kind of accentuating the Russian identity and ethnicity? Yeah. Well, Mr. Chairman, my time's up. I'll yield back.